Hey, Emily. How are you doing today? Hey, Rising. Thanks for the donation. We will take a look at that in just a second. Slow start to the day. Oh, not me. I've been busy, busy all day, basically since I woke up, getting stuff done around the house. Just basically housework and stuff, but I've been busy and I just now had a chance to sit down, so I thought I would stream for a little bit. Thank you, Rising. Rising, do you want me to answer your question now? Hey, everyone. All right, so what's coming for Emily in July? July, I have canceled plans. We have the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. So if you have an event, party, a get together of, I don't know, something that you're planning, it feels small, it feels like a day or a weekend situation. I feel like these plans are going to be canceled. I don't know why you would need to know this message, but that's what I'm getting here with the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. They both came out at the same time. So maybe you make plans with a friend or a family member and those fall through. Let's see, am I getting anything else? Also, if you were planning for a reunion in July with someone, I don't think that's going to happen, is another interpretation of this. They want you to make sure that you welcome change and don't focus on negative emotions in July. Maybe that's advice. All right, so right, she said no. All right, so rising. Let's see. You're welcome, Emily. All right. Did Mike call Melissa? Was this Mike? Please show me a yes or a no for Rising Storm. Was this Mike? I am getting a no. Rising Storm, no. 10 of Wands. Hey, I speak. Welcome in. How are you? Alexandra. Did Diana dislike me when we had arguments on Facebook? Please show me a yes or a no for Alexandra. Yes, Alexandra, I am getting a yes. 8 of Pentacles. You're welcome, Rising. Thank you. Okay, so I speak, we have the moon and the 5 of Cups and Chariot kind of came out together. So one of the things I'm getting from them is they just don't want you to, or maybe they want you to know that you're getting to a point where you're not letting the past hold you back anymore. A lot of times we can live very much in the past. I think they say that like 90% of our day is consumed with the exact same thoughts that we had the day before, which is actually really sad if you think about it, because we very much live in the past over and over and over. So Spirit is kind of saying you're getting to a point or to a clearing where you're not doing that anymore. You're trying to have new thoughts every day, new ideas, maybe taking on new challenges, maybe saying yes a lot more to things you normally wouldn't to get yourself out of your comfort zone. And if you're not doing all of these things, that's fine, but maybe it's just guidance to go ahead and do that. But I definitely see with the moon here talking about past conditioning affecting present behavior, and the 5 of Cups is very much focusing on the past energy. But I have the Chariot here, which indicates facing forward, moving forward, not looking back, not looking left or right, just making sure you're staying on the focus on the path in front of you. So that is what I have for you, I speak. Glad that it resonates. Beautiful love, this is still a possible outcome. Yes, I am getting a yes. This is still a possible outcome. Will Taurus and I communicate next month? Please show me a yes or a no for roses. You're welcome, Alexandra. Rosa says that's an interesting fact. Yeah, I when I heard it, it kind of blew my mind. I don't know the exact percentage, but I think it's something like 90% of the thoughts that we have each day are the same thoughts that we were thinking about the day before, the day before that. We think the same things every single day. And it's true. You think, oh, I don't want to go to work. Oh, I have laundry to do. Are we going to be able to afford that? You know, like it's like you live in the past constantly. So I thought it was very interesting, and it kind of like made me try to think differently, and it's really helped. I am getting a yes, Roses, the 6 of Wands. Why I think that he didn't like me anymore when he stopped talking. Show me a yes or a no for Karen, please. I am getting a yes, Page of Cups, Karen. This is the messenger of love. So maybe he was losing feelings. You're welcome, Roses. Makes sense, thank you. You're welcome, I speak. Absolutely. You're welcome, Karen. You're welcome, Roses. For those of you who are just now joining us, if you're looking to get a free question and you are not new to me today, meaning you've been here before, you have about 2 minutes left to get your question asked. It can be any format or yes or no. It's up to you. Make sure you post ASAP so that you can get your question in before the list closed. Beautiful love, that sounds great. You will be next. Let's see, how will the remaining of June be for Medea? How will the remaining of June be for Medea? Medea, I have the Three of Swords here, which can indicate that you're going through maybe not the best time of your life, like, or still trying to heal from a past relationship, or it could even mean that you're grieving. So you'll have to kind of decide if you kind of feel like you're just in a rut and things aren't really going well. That is coming to an end for you. The Three of Swords in the world indicates like cycles closing here in the month of June. And so I feel like for you, especially, July is going to be a very fresh month, and it's going to feel like there's a lot of new energy coming in for you next month. How did I learn tarot? I'll answer that one in 1 second. Why am I seeing so many mirror numbers? Let's see. Why is MA seeing so many mirror numbers? MA, are you a Pisces or are you involved with a Pisces? Pisces is the mirroring astrological sign. But I have Ace of Cups. So maybe the mirror numbers are indicating to you like twin flame energy in your environment and or just meeting a new love. You're a Pisces. Okay, so you're going to be very, just because of your natural sign, your natural sun sign, you're going to be very drawn to seeing mirror numbers. You notice it more than other people because you are the mirrored zodiac sign. So it's definitely very much in your energy. But we have the Ace of Cups. This can indicate for you just especially that you have like a new love life, like an upsurge in romantic feelings, or taking your current relationship to the next level, or someone new coming in for you. Those are a couple of different interpretations as to why you would be seeing that. So I speak in a nutshell. I taught myself. I have always been an empath, and I learned probably 15 years ago, roughly, that I was an empath. And it's the first time I ever learned that word, and no one knew what I was talking about. I would say, yeah, I'm an empath. And people would be like, do you mean you're empathetic? And I'm like, no. And now everybody knows that word. But I was suffering from it like really, really badly. And it got to a point where I remember going to MA, yeah, so new love's coming, claimed it, yay. Yeah, exactly. So I think it was like I went to Chuck E. Cheese or something. It was like some type of birthday party, and all the kids were acting crazy, and the parents were there, and some parents were stressed, trying to chase their kids around. Like, it just felt like there was just so much energy, and I felt like I could hear everyone's thoughts, and it was very debilitating. And so I got to a point where I was like, I either need to, like, I felt like I needed recuperation. Like, you get a hangover and you feel like you need a couple days to get back to normal. Like, that's how I felt, where I had to just disconnect from everything. And it was becoming very, yeah, it was becoming very hermit like, if that makes sense. And I didn't like that. I didn't want that as a part of my life. So I thought to myself, what is a way that I can tune into this intuition that I'm feeling and turn it into something beneficial? So I kind of like thought to myself, well, you know how people can channel their energy, right? So I was thinking maybe I could channel it into something that would help me. And then tarot kind of just fell in my lap because I was looking up online different ways that you can use your intuition. And then it was like tools of divination. And then that turned into looking up pick a card readings. And then just this overwhelming desire to learn myself. And so that's kind of how it all started. But I essentially taught myself tarot. I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of people do tarot and try to like understand how they read, and then kind of put my own spin on it, because of course everyone's different. So I wanted to have like my own energy signature when I was reading. And I wanted to kind of like be my own kind of thing, but I still took elements from what other people did to kind of figure out my own type of practice that felt and resonated with me. I did Biddy Tarot Academy for a little while. I read for people on there to get feedback, and it was like 5 stars across the board, which made me feel like that was encouragement I needed to be on the right path. And then I decided probably a year into it to start my tarot channel, and that's pretty much been it. And I've been learning a lot since then. I have my own books that I read, and sometimes if I feel like I need a refresher, I'll go back and read those books again. And yeah. So I Speak says all that energy, you can feel it. Yeah, it can be very overwhelming for sure, especially if you're highly sensitive, which I'm sure a lot of people in here are, so they can relate. It's draining and isolating. Yes, that's the exact word I was looking for. I was like very hermited. No, it's isolating, because you realize that like not everybody experiences this. I mean, a lot of people do, don't get me wrong, but like in my personal group of people, like, between my then boyfriend, now fiance, my sister, my siblings, my close friends, my parents, like no one really expressed to me that they go through with that I went through. And so it does feel isolating. And so it's just nice being a part of a community now where you feel like the majority feels this way. It feels a lot better, I guess. As a Pisces, I can relate to it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can. It's just kind of crazy how like usually you don't meet those people in person, or those people usually aren't around you. It's normally you have to find them through some type of network. Yeah, I am self-taught. I'm so glad I found your channel, Luna. Thank you. That's so sweet. I Speak, thank you for asking that question. I love sharing my little story. I'm glad to have you here, Emily. I've learned to ground myself and shield that energy, and that helped to protect my energy and not feel everyone's energy, Luna, because my whole life I was drained by everyone and everything. I would walk into a store and walk out being drained, and I always thought something was wrong with me. No, nothing is wrong with you at all. I realized that that's probably what I needed to do myself too, is to find a way to shield and ground. And through tarot, through readings, I have definitely learned how to do that. Like, I felt like for the longest time I had to, like, I have a little ritual, but I don't have to do that ritual every single time. I don't have to smudge. I don't have to use Palo Santo or say a little prayer, because I feel like after years and years of doing this, I have such a strong connection to my spirit guides. They just know. Like, I always thank them, but they just know when I'm ready to be turned on and when I want to be turned off. We just have that connection. And so I definitely feel so much more grounded now than I did before. But yeah, I mean, you'll notice that if you're that type of person, like, you probably have people coming up to you all the time and talking to you. Like, I tell my sister all the time, I was like, you don't understand. People overshare, and they do it with Brennan, they do it with me. And when him and I are together in a store, I can't even begin to tell. It's insane. People will literally follow us around the store to continue their conversation. Like, we're literally trying to get away from them, and then they're like chasing us down. Rising, thank you so much. Okay, so I think Beautiful Love said that she was gonna send something. So yeah, if you guys donated, go ahead and post your questions, and I'll update this list in just a second. But yeah, people will literally follow us around. I had someone in I think it was Hobby Lobby, and she was asking me, we went to an aisle real quick to get some vinyl, and she asked me about the Cricket, and I have one, and she was like asking me to like kind of tell her basically how it works, because she was gifted to her. And she essentially told me that she loves my personality. She feels like I'm such a great educator, that she asked if I was a teacher, and I was like, no. And she's like, you should be. And then she like found me in another aisle, and then basically told me that she's been battling cancer and she's crying. And I can't even begin to tell you guys like how many people have cried to me just in the store. I'm just a random person, and I've had so many people come to me to start crying to me. And it's like, it feels like an honor, but also like in flattering that someone would feel like they could just bare their soul to me. But also it just makes me wonder like why. And it's like bad when it's me by myself and when Brennan's by himself, but it's like even worse when we're together. Like, people love talking to us. It's crazy. And my sister didn't believe it. Well, she did, but she didn't realize it. And then one day she was in the store with us. We were shopping separately, but she was one aisle over, and she messaged me and she's like, you weren't kidding. People love talking to you guys. She was like, I just heard this woman from the other store just talking y'all's ears off. Oh, like, we're not lying when we tell you this happens to us all the time. So yeah, it also gets bad when you run into energy vampires. All I do is take. I'm naturally giving, so it's hard. Yeah. Oh my god, yes. And random strangers are drawn to the aura. I deal with that too, and it's so odd. So I'm glad you guys can relate. I mean, it definitely is comforting knowing that you guys experience similar things. Um, God, that was a perfect word, Emily, is isolating. And I luckily don't feel that way anymore, but I definitely felt that way for a very long time. Rising, I see your question on PayPal. So as soon as I'm done with Beautiful Love, I will get right to you, and you're very welcome. I would love to do like a Q&A kind of style with you guys, because I think that would be fun. So if you guys had any questions like that, you could ask me. I always say that I'm going to do it, and then I never get around to it. But it's always fun talking about stuff like that, where it's not like I'm just doing readings all day, and we can actually get to know each other. All right. So Beautiful Love says, hubby is constantly telling people that he's done with me in our marriage, but he won't even serve me with divorce papers right now. He's mad because I came to grab my things, and funny thing is, he's mad at me for taking all my shakes when it's my things. What is his true intentions and feelings when it comes to this? Beautiful love, I am shuffling for you right now. All right, what are hubby's true intentions with beautiful love? So beautiful love, the one thing that I'm hearing is he is telling people these things because he knows that it's going to get back to you. I think that he is trying to ruffle your feathers because he feels personally targeted and attacked. He felt, even though he had a way to kind of stop you from leaving, like he had a way to do better, and you didn't get to the point that you did for no reason. He still feels like a lot of it wasn't in his own control, and he felt like this was your decision. And I think he probably was offended, hurt, or his ego was a bit bruised because of that. And the reason that he's saying these things to other people is because he knows it's going to get back to you, or maybe he hopes it will, but he's not positive, but he has a feeling that it will. And he's trying to assert some type of authority and power. Emily, thank you. I'll add you to the list. The reason I'm getting that is because we have the Five of Swords, and that talks a lot about trying to have the upper hand no matter the cost, no matter whose feelings you hurt along the way, no matter what it takes to get you to the top. He is trying to assert his power and take that power back. Basically, he's treating this like a game that he's trying to win, and it doesn't matter if he doesn't consider your feelings or not. Let's see, why is he not serving her with divorce papers? So to answer that question, I have the Three of Swords, which makes me feel like he's not officially ready. I think he's a little bit of bark and no bite, to be honest. I think that it's things that he says out of anger, things that he says to ruffle your feathers, but I don't know if he truly is ready to take that next step as far as getting a divorce. Let's see, why is he not serving her? We do have the Death in the World here, which indicates him wanting this to come to an end. But he wants something to come to an end. What does he want to come to an end? This power you have over him, he wants that to be over. He doesn't like that. What does he want to come to an end? Yeah, he essentially wants to let go of the idea of you having power over him. Again, we know he put himself in this position. So when I say that he wants this to come to an end, or he wants this to be over, I think he means this particular situation, this particular scenario of where you make this, or you have the say, you make the decisions. I feel like for you, you feel like your hands are tied. You feel like he gave you no other choice. And he still says, but you still chose to do what you did. So I don't necessarily see that he essentially wants you and his marriage to come to an end for sure. I feel like he's maybe deliberating that. But I just saw your comment. He's deliberating it, but I don't think that he's come to that decision just yet, and that's why you have not received those papers. So it's basically a power struggle here. Beautiful love is essentially what his intentions are. Hey, sunshine, welcome in. Beautiful love, what is your second question? I mean, yeah, it's kind of confusing, but at the same time, like when emotions are high, we're not really thinking straight, we're not really making much sense. It's to be expected. Like, you know, when you go through a separation with someone, sometimes it's not just black and white. Sometimes it's not just I want to be with you or I don't want to be with you. Sometimes it's more complicated than that. Sunshine, you gave me a prediction last time. It didn't happen. Energy changes. I shouldn't have had this read. Maybe I changed my fate. Maybe. I honestly don't remember, Sunshine. I don't remember the reading that you're talking about. It must have happened. It must have been a reading from a while back, yeah? Domino's has the best tater tots. Oh, it did happen to you in the past with another reader? I speak whenever I get their tater tots, they're good, but they're so mushy. So I don't know if my Domino's is making them right. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes energy changes, like you said. You know, if we choose to do something, you know, maybe if, like, for example, if someone was anticipating reaching out to you and I picked that they're going to reach out to you, but you reach out to them first, then you changed the fate because you didn't let them reach out to you. So it's all about the decisions we make. Yeah. All right. I would like to know what's going to happen to hubby and his lady. Like, do you see any crazy arguments and fights that will lead to a breakup? All right. Let's see what's going on with hubby and his lady. Any information beautiful love needs to know regarding their relationship. Hey, Terry. Sunshine, I'm sorry he ghosted you. Thanks, Terry. I will add you to the list, girl. You'll be after Emily, okay? So beautiful love. There is a struggle here in this connection. Maybe right now things are okay. But again, I do feel like he's using her. I think he's kind of like serial monogamous. I haven't used that terminology in a while, but serial monogamous is like where you jump from relationship to relationship. You ship hop, meaning that it's very hard for you to be alone. And usually that's when someone's very unhealed and they either don't know how or don't want to stand on their own. that could be a situation he deals with. And I see you here still a part of this relationship. The third party card is here. So you are still something in the background. It's like serving as like an undercurrent of the relationship that they can't really ignore. The relationship is fine now with them, but I'm asking for future predictions. Right. I mean, if you're wanting to know, like, am I seeing them breaking up or anything? I'm not getting that right now. Let's see. Will he break things off with her at any point? Will he break things off with her at any point? Yeah, I'm getting a no. And a yes. I have the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups that came out at the same time. So I think Beautiful Love is too soon to tell, but you're still there. I don't know if that helps to know or if that sucks to know. I'm not sure how that will go down for you, but you are still here, like a part of their relationship. You are still considered the wife. You are still the third party that's involved in their relationship right now. And so I feel like he can try to ignore that for as long as he wants to, but he does have to address the fact that nothing has officially ended between you and him, and something will need to be done about that. I am not getting that there are any issues currently. I do see he might be using her for financial gain. I have the Four of Pentacles here, and so he could be kind of clingy to her, or she could be clingy to him, or vice versa. There could be like a co-attachment type of connection that they have at this time. But I do feel like they're both using each other right now for different reasons. I don't see any fighting. I don't have like Five of Swords or Five of Wands. I don't see any struggle or resistance like Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, or Nine of Wands. Nothing like that. There's no challenges. I don't have Seven of Wands. So I do feel like they're using one another at this time, but for different reasons. And I don't have like a prediction or anything like that as to like how far this will go and or when they'll break up. Yeah, it looks like it's something that's just gonna have to ride itself out. Like they're gonna have to just see how it goes. But I definitely feel like your husband's trying really hard to hurt your feelings. And I feel like he just truthfully is not treating you, even now, the way that he should be treating you. I think he feels like he's offended or hurt by the actions that you've made, and instead of trying to work things out, he's just trying to hurt your feelings. So that's not very nice. Thanks, beautiful love. All right, so Rising Storm. You're very welcome, beautiful love. Thank you for stopping in. Oh. Sorry, that wasn't the real updated list. I'm fixing that. There you go. All right, let's see. All right, so what can happen after the apology from Mike? What can happen after the apology from Mike? What can happen after the apology from Mike? What could happen after the apology from Mike? Rising, I think that I honestly am kind of getting that things will kind of fizzle out. I'm having like a hard time seeing that anything like really strong is coming from this right now. Of course, things can change, but I feel almost like an apology happens and then it's like, yay, like, you know, like we're finally getting somewhere, and then I just don't think anything comes of it. I think he is embarrassed. I think that it's truly going to be up to him to pursue this any further because he will have admitted that he handled things the wrong way. But I think out of sheer embarrassment, he will probably just kind of let this opportunity go. There is like a small percent chance, like I'm seeing like 10 to 15% chance that he may just kind of try to get over himself and make something happen. But I do feel like he feels like this is a long road back for a situation where you guys barely know each other. So he feels like this is going to be a long road back. You know, like for instance, you guys, you don't really have history together, but in a way you do. There still has been a lot of things that have transpired between you guys, and I think he's going to have a hard time trying to rebuild from that. So I would say the immediate following, you guys would be kind of just friends, maybe. I have the Three of Pentacles here. But I think, honestly, what I'm kind of getting is a missed opportunity. I just don't see much headway being made, and I don't know why. But I've got like the Three of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. You know, like these are a lot of cards kind of indicating that something could kind of just fizzle out. Or you guys kind of go your own separate ways. Like you accept the apology and maybe you would hope that something comes of this. But yeah, like that's the energy right now that I'm getting. I would love for this to change for you, for your sake. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel, I don't know. I just don't like this energy as far as like being hopeful for something to blossom. I think he's extremely embarrassed. He's kind of humiliated, honestly, and I think that he thinks that too much weirdness and awkwardness has transpired between you guys for anything to really grow here. Again, there is like a small chance maybe that something will, but it's very small. So yeah, rising, that is what I've got for you on that one. Wish I had better things to say. Maybe next time. We'll see. We are gonna move on to Emily. Emily, I think Emily posted her question on Cash App. Yeah. Oh, Rising says makes sense. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were still in here or not. Yeah, you're welcome, Rising. For more contacts haven't spoken, we're gaining power, detaching. Curious how he's feeling since I haven't taken any action. Okay, perfect. Yep, I will shuffle for that one. And Emily, can I say your person's name, or do you prefer to keep that private? Okay, thank you. All right, so Emily, I am going to put maybe this up on the screen just so you kind of know where your reading is if you're trying to find it. All right, so what are Tom's true feelings for Emily at this time? Please give me current feelings, only current feelings that Tom has for Emily right now. So, Emily, I'm kind of getting that his thoughts are a little bit all over the place. But I do sense that you're there in his thoughts. I feel like he's got some other shit going on outside of this, but we're trying to like clear the way to understand what it is he's thinking about you. I feel like for him, he thinks to himself he has nothing substantial or different to offer you. So in that case, realistically, he doesn't feel like much has changed. He feels like he's really tried to really think things through over this like course of time. he's trying to, I think, reason with himself to assure himself that you guys, or he or you, or however this went down, that you guys made the right decision for the circumstances that you were in. I do feel like he does not feel like your relationship has been given its justice. I feel like he still just feels like there's more that the relationship deserves. He feels like there's more to give, and you guys did not exhaust all of your options. You did not, like, he's almost feeling there's still more that could have been done. He is kind of feeling like it's a little bit unfair what's going on right now, but at the same time, he's not coming to this in his mind with solutions. He's just thinking of how he feels. So he's still not here to offer anything different, but he still can't help the way that he feels about this. Maybe he's feeling poor timing. I'm kind of like hearing a little bit like he feels like right person, wrong time kind of thing. Maybe he feels like you guys are on two different paths, and eventually, he would be where you are, or vice versa, but he feels like right now wasn't like necessarily working. And he finds this unfair. He's very unhappy about this. Hey Ray, thank you for donating. I do sense that intimacy is a big factor for him here. So, there is a couple interpretations, whereas like you wanted to wait, he wanted it now. Or, it was like a wait till marriage kind of thing. Or if you guys were intimate with one another, it was like now he's missing that. He's really missing that with you. Like, I feel like he feels like, there's something that has to do with your intimacy that he like still desires, he still wants. Again, I have to reiterate that he has nothing different to offer since things kind of went down, but he's still like having these moments where he's missing the closeness to you. He's missing like cuddling with you, holding your hand, being near you, being close to you. I'm getting that. Anything else? And there's something about your smile. He really likes your smile. It's almost like you just had this way about you that's a bit like sunshine, and I think that he's having a hard time adapting and adjusting to this new normal is kind of what I'm hearing, because you guys are no longer in communication or in connection with each other. It's like he's having to adapt and adjust to what it's like to not have you around, and I think that's been difficult for him. Emily, I just saw you said you miss all of that too. Yeah, it's tough. Oh yeah, we always had so much fun together. I really want to communicate, but I'm holding back. I think you're doing what's best for this time. If I did the reading and I felt like he was ready for some big change, maybe he might want something a little bit to change, obviously. I did have the death card, but I feel like if I felt like a big tugging, like a big pull of energy from him, that he's like ready for things to be different, I would probably encourage you to reach out. But I'm still feeling like he's lying a bit dormant still at this time, processing everything. And I really feel like it would be important for him to reach out to you. You know, if something like that were to change.
So Corey just texted and said the reversal is delayed. So he's gonna need a nap. I hate for them to miss the magic show.
Yes, the show must go on.
For sure. Thank you, Luna. You're welcome, Emily. Thanks for the donation. So, Terry, we're calling on you. If you can post your question, I don't see it on Cash App. So, whenever you're ready, go ahead and post. Ray, I got your donation confirmed. Thank you. I added you to the list. Hey, Terry, thanks for checking in. Whenever you're ready, you can post your question. So I want to know, how does Teth feel about what we've been talking about? All right, let's see. How does Teth feel about what they've been talking about? So, Terry, I feel like he's saying, like, I like how you talk to me. Like, there's something about in the way that you say things. Like, I like what you have to say. I like how you word things. I like the perspective maybe that you give is kind of what he's saying. I feel for him, he feels like, well, we have the Six of Wands, and it's almost like he has attention on him in a negative way. Like, Six of Wands upright would be recognition, praise, appreciation, applause, accolade, whatever. But I feel like with it in reverse, it's like he has attention on him in a negative way. that he could perceive that he's being hunted by certain people, being attacked by certain people, feeling like he's at some type of disadvantage and that he's not going to be able to really get ahead. And I feel like talking to you can be very comforting for him. It's a way for him to escape what, like, in a healthy way. It's a way for him to kind of escape maybe the things that he is dealing with on a daily basis. You kind of help him kind of find a way out, possibly. Maybe that's kind of what I should be interpreting here. I feel like he likes the communication back and forth. I think that you realize that he's very eager to communicate with you. He'll probably go through like these periods or bouts of time where like it's just back and forth. And I do feel like the communication will continue. I think he desires for it to continue. The Chariot here indicates forward movement. We also have the Eight of Wands here, so I feel like he desires this. Now, the Lovers is also here, so you'll have to take this how it would resonate for you. But if it has the potential, if like you think it's possible for him to have feelings for you, and that would be appropriate for him to have feelings for you, I am getting confirmation on that. The Lovers here indicates at a minimum kindred spirits. You know, you guys get along really well. He feels like you guys are alike in certain ways. Oh, he has shared it with you. So he's viewing you as someone very ideal, I guess you could say, because the Lovers is kind of like where you feel like you found your match. Ooh, I didn't know that. All right. Well, the Lovers is here. So this signifies desiring relationships, deep, profound connections. There's maybe even romantic and sexual desire as well. You guys could share values. Maybe he's viewing you as like a perfect person for him or a perfect union. So I do like that he's been upfront and honest. So at a minimum, I would say he's enjoying these conversations. But I know that there's so much more to be said outside of that he's really taken to you, I would say. Very taken with you. He fancies you a bit. Well, I love that for you. Yeah, like fancy. When you fancy someone, it's kind of like you have a crush on someone or they're very taken with you. Being attracted to someone. Yeah. You're welcome, Terry. Ray, are we doing a 10 card for you? Okay, 10 card. Got it. All right. Thank you. Hopefully your phone doesn't die before your turn, Ray. I will save your question. I'm going to run to the restroom, and when I return, it will be your reading. Okay? So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I am back. Sarah, I got your donation confirmed. Thank you. Let me add you to the list. So, Ray, I am shuffling for you now. Hopefully, you're still here. Ray, do you know who your twin flame is? Okay. What's going on with the twin flame connection for Ray, please? What's going on with the twin flame connection? So, Ray, it seems like this person wants to keep their feelings for you secret or under wraps, which makes me feel like they aren't ready to introduce you, or they may already be in a connection themselves, but I feel like everything when it comes to you is suppressed. I feel like they are trying hard not to acknowledge this with you and kind of keep things, like I said, under wraps. The Four of Swords energy is kind of being antisocial, so it might resonate with you that I'm picking up that you guys are not really in communication right now. That's not to say that you guys hate each other or anything. It's not to say you guys are at odds with each other, but I just feel like nothing is really happening. And I feel like it's very much the feelings here trying to be swept under the rug or kept hidden or not really acknowledge these feelings. Does that sound accurate? What is going on with the twin flame connection, please? What is going on with the twin flame connection? I am getting that there will continue to be disappointment within this connection at this time. We're taking things very, very slowly. It almost feels like things aren't actually even moving at all. I think that there's a lot of hesitation from both sides, and maybe he or you don't necessarily feel like it's a good idea to pursue this relationship or try to progress it any further. The temperance here indicates doing things in moderation. It can indicate multiple relationships going on here. So he could be in a relationship, you could be in a relationship, or you both could be involved individually. So take that if it resonates for you. The Three of Pentacles in reverse just indicates like a lot of waiting around, feeling like you guys are struggling to have the other person like make a move. I feel like you guys, you're probably waiting for them to make a move. They won't make a move, and even if you did make a move, I feel like they wouldn't really be in a receptive type of energy at this time. Some indication here through the Three of Pentacles in reverse is that it could be kind of a waste to try to nurture this relationship, because I just feel like it's either you or him, but I'm feeling it's more him, that he's not really in the place at this time to like want to see things through, want to progress this further. What's going on with the twin flame connection? We have moving away from each other. So if you guys are at a distance, that is being acknowledged here. Otherwise, it can also indicate that you guys are just kind of on separate paths right now, living separate lives, not really doing things with each other. I mean, the Six of Swords kind of indicates like you kind of going and living your own life and doing your own thing, and he's doing the same. What's going on with the twin flame connection for Ray, please? He's really trying to keep his eyes closed to this. That keeps coming through again. I just want to reiterate that he's really trying to ignore the fact that he is drawn to you. It's not really something that he's proud of. He may be ashamed of feeling this way. Maybe those feelings could come from being involved with someone else. If not, if he's just on his own, he's just not really trying to understand this connection. He's not trying to do anything to give to it. The Emperor is like very stoic, so you're not probably going to get much information out of him feelings wise. He'll probably deny. The Emperor also is kind of unmoved, meaning that like whatever's been going on between you guys will continue, because he's not in a place to really want to change. He could be closing his eyes as well to the spiritual side and the metaphysical and mysterious and unexplained part of the connection that you guys share. He might be trying to tell his own self a story about how it might not be what he originally thought or originally felt. Probably just try to deny. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, Ray. Not sure if your phone died or not. Haven't seen you talking in the chat, but that is what I've got for you, girl. We are going to move on to Sarah. Sarah, if you're here, if you can please check in with me so I know whether or not we need to timestamp your reading. Oh, okay, Ray, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I kind of stopped in like, I think it was like 3 or 4 cards in, and I wanted like to get confirmation to make sure that I was on the right path, because there was, whenever I asked that, it's because I asked Spirit certain questions to understand certain answers. So if I am on the right path, I know what questions to ask to get more information for you. I don't always ask like for confirmation, but sometimes I do, because I just want to make sure that I'm asking Spirit the correct questions. But I'm hoping that resonated for you. Hey Sarah, thank you for checking in. Okay, so Sarah, we are going to start with the Taurus, and then we're going to go to the Leo. All right, so the Taurus. The Taurus. And Sarah, please. The Taurus and Sarah. What is the Taurus feeling about Sarah? What are their true intentions? What does she want? What does he want? What brings them together? What pulls them apart? What's the energy? What's hidden? And will the relationship be successful? The Taurus and Sarah, please. More. Oh my goodness. Sarah, I know that you don't get much from this person. But I don't know. I just root for y'all. I just really root for y'all. Maybe it's not ideal, but I just do, because there's always like, I don't know, there's just always like this thing that kind of like is in the air when it comes to you guys. So he's viewing you. I know. That's why I don't even want to give you this reading. I don't even want to tell you what I have here, because like, especially if you're at the point of wanting to leave, this is probably going to make you want to not leave. But I am just going to tell you what I got, because that's what you want from me. So the Queen of Pentacles, as how they feel about you, is indicating that you are his ideal person. You are who he views as his wife. You are the person that when he thinks about if he's going to get married, or if he gets married, you're that face that's always there in the back of his mind. And it almost feels like it's just a bunch of laps and there's never really a finish line, but it's like he still goes around and around the track, because eventually at some point he is hoping that you'll be there. And so yeah, he views you like you're his wife, but even though you're not, he views you as like that future wife. It's kind of where he puts you. His intention is to have a family with you and be with you long term. The Ten of Pentacles talks about how someone sees you as someone who's been there and who will always be there. I don't see that he has like an end for your connection. The Ten of Pentacles means this is someone who's been in my life and I want them in my life for a long time. So I don't see him really cutting ties with you anytime soon as far as his intentions go. What you want, I have is the Lovers. And so this talks about like real partnerships, relationships where you have, the friendship, but you also have the lover aspect, but you also have the relationship. You're with each other day in and day out. You explore each other physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that stuff. You kind of want that all encompassing, everyday, real type of love that the lovers provides. As far as what he wants, he's viewing you as the Queen of Wands as well. So you are a person who he's extremely attracted to. Um, I feel like he, this is why I laughed, because I was like, is this for real? He like, he has this fantasy of like you seducing him, and I feel like he has a very hard time. I almost am getting like he's a type A type of person. Like he needs things to be his own way, and it's like got to be a certain way, and you got to do it in a certain order. But there's just like this part of him that makes him feel that you would help him become unhinged. Like he likes the idea of you just being wild with him, and him being able to just like let loose and escape and not have to like worry about the rigidness that he embodies on a day-to-day life. He wants that escape. So this is all believable. So we have strengths and weaknesses. I think this is similar to what we typically get for you guys, but we have strengths, Nine of Cups, weakness, Queen of Cups. So a strength would be that you guys both would really be able to make each other happy. You would be able to provide that fulfillment in every single category. You guys would, if in a perfect world, it's like you wouldn't look any further than him. I feel like he checks all the boxes for you, you check all the boxes for him. The weakness is that you guys put logic over feelings. I have the Queen of Cups, so it's always about what makes sense and what's realistic and what we need to do, instead of like how we feel. He said, "Oh my god, yeah, because in our 20s we did a lot of escaping together and we always had a good time, but like he needs to grow up." Sorry. Yeah. I feel you. I can feel your annoyance all the way over here. I was like, "Oh my god, what?" Oh. As far as the energy around the relationship, I am very much picking up on this being very much your energy, but maybe his a little bit too, is cutting ties, because I have the Three of Swords here, and this indicates feeling like you guys have been through a lot. There is a shared history, and it almost feels like it hurts more than it feels good, and you are getting less out of it than you're putting in. And we're like, do we move on from this or not? He does, he knows me, but dang, escaping isn't traveling and just being together. Now, in the what's hidden position, I don't really feel like this is hidden per se, but I'm going to kind of take it as like a focus that maybe you both are doing. And that's the Three of Pentacles. This indicates apprenticeship, learning, studying, growing, hard work, building on success, teamwork, determination, goals, quality, attention to detail, recognition, reward. So this indicates like kind of what you guys are doing right now, is you kind of are in that like learning, studying, excelling mindset where you're trying to work very hard towards your future, towards your financial future and or career. And maybe the hidden aspect of this is that it's important that you guys work on this right now. You guys focus on that realistic side, because I think only then are you going to get closer to your goals, and only then will you feel like, now that that's out of the way, can something finally happen between the two of us. Because the longer we wait to do these things, the longer it's going to take to get to the end of that season of life, the longer it's going to take for you guys to get back together if that's what you choose to do. Okay, Emily, that sounds great. As far as will the relationship be successful, I do have a yes. Ace of Cups. Would you believe? Ace of Cups. And this is another reason why I kind of chuckled when I was pulling the cards for you. Relationships, romance, love, happiness, fertility, socializing, and upsurge of feelings. So I am getting a yes, but that's really no surprise just because you guys do offer that fulfillment in many, like, I said you guys check each other's boxes. So it would make sense that you have the makings for a successful relationship. It's just a matter of when. Yeah, medical school, nurse practitioner school. Right. Oh. I'll just put this on the screen for your second question. Yeah, maybe that's what you need to focus on. Because like I said, we have the, that school card, the 3 of Pentacles, where you're kind of just, it's not necessarily 8 of Pentacles, so I got to be clear. But maybe just focusing on what you need to focus on is kind of what is important at this time. So, Emily, I'm going to add you to the list. You will be after Sarah. I'm shuffling now for the Leo. Leo and Sarah. Leo and Sarah. Leo and Sarah. Leo and Sarah. Sarah, are you in communication with this Leo? Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like, honestly, Sarah, this is kind of a dead end. Kind of what I'm getting here is like it's not really gonna be able to go anywhere. I mean, if you want it to, I really do hope it gets some legs, but it kind of feels like a dead end a little bit to me, to be honest. I feel like when it says like how do they feel about you, I kind of see them like facing forward. I see them not really looking any direction your way. They're kind of just like focusing on what's ahead. As far as like their true intentions, we do have the Ace of Wands, which if ever what someone's intentions are is Ace of Wands or Knight of Wands, I'm thinking like sex, to be honest. I'm thinking like friends with Bens. So I don't know if this person's expressed that to you, that there's like more like a sexual chemistry here, or that it feels more physical than anything. But that's what I have, and I feel like you just kind of maybe already know. It's important that you probably, yeah, you can tell he is too. Kind of just need to like walk away, because I see you here as far as what do you want. We have the Five of Pentacles, which it can indicate like feeling kind of on the outside of someone's life. So maybe you already know intuitively that maybe you're just looking for confirmation. We have what do they want with a Three of Swords, and this indicates continued separation. So maybe just, yeah. Let's see, strengths and weaknesses. A weakness is that this is a very like impulsive connection, meaning like things can happen very last minute. If you make yourself available and he wants something, that it can happen, but it's kind of a weakness because it hinders the ability to foster an actual like healthy and stable relationship. As far as a strength goes, I think that he looks at you as someone who could be very nurturing and welcoming with open arms. Oh, thank you. I have, with the energy around the relationship, we have just friends, Three of Pentacles. What's hidden is that this will continue to be a challenge for you, Seven of Wands. And will the relationship be successful? I do have a maybe. It's not a no, but I feel like almost Spirit is saying that this is just it's just not the right time right now, if ever, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, and that has to do with karmic relationships and, you know, are you on the right path, and is this a good time to try to make something of this? So yeah, that is what I've got. Oh, thank you, Emily. Thanks so much, girl. I can tell you it's 2 are so good, accurate. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. You donated $10. All right, let me pull up really quickly, because I do up to 3 readings in a row for people. So Sarah, we can do your last one if you're ready now to do that. Is that for a 10 card? You guys are so sweet. I just love how you're like, nah, he ain't good for me. I should move on. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting to, but I try not to put my opinion in your readings, because that's not what you're here for. Let's see. Ray, Sarah. Okay. So Ray did. Oh no, Ray has not redonated. She said she was thinking about it. Alright, so we're gonna cross that off. Alright, so Emily, you are after Sarah. Because I thought it was gonna be Ray, but she did not donate again yet. So yeah, we're gonna work on Sarah's last. I should move on. Yeah, 10 card. Okay, Sarah, that's great. So we've done 2 out of 3. So whenever you're ready, you can post your question for your 10 card reading. And then after Sarah, we have Emily for a mini. So, a karmic relationship, I speak, is one which you have to learn a lesson. I believe personally that it's kind of like an agreement that you kind of came into this life, that you were going to meet this type of person until you learned that lesson. Kind of like a challenge. Like, think of like a video game where you have different levels that you have to win, you have to beat, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like karmics come in and do that for you, and each level you get better and better because you learn from it, right? And if you can't beat it, then you can't get to the next level. So I kind of view that as like karmic relationships or partners are those that are here to teach us a lesson. And if we don't learn that lesson, then those people come back in our lives again until we learn that lesson with that same person. Or if you just somehow part with your karmic, then you'll just have another person come into your life that's just like that person before. So a lot of women will be like, oh, I just keep attracting these horrible people that are abusive and da 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 da. And it's like, well, because you never learn your lesson. The second that you learn that lesson, that you deserve better, then you realize that a bunch of things open up for you where it's not that situation. So karmics, I personally believe, are here to teach you what it is that you need to know, what you need to learn, what lessons do you need to understand to continue on your path and your mission here. And if it could be why you keep getting back together with exes over and over and over, because you have not learned, and why you keep attracting the same type of people because you have not learned. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't know if people would agree with me on that or not. I just want to know how B Taurus will treat me when we do solidify things as a couple in the future. Okay. Let's see. I pulled cards on my relationship with my boyfriend, and I got the karmic relationship card, and I was like, what? Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, I speak. It doesn't mean that it's meant you guys are meant to break up or anything per se. It can just be the type of relationship that teaches you a lot of lessons, and will help you restore your own karma and balance your own karma. But that could be an interpretation. But I do feel that generally speaking, you don't have lifelong sustaining relationships with your karmic partners, typically speaking, at least from my experience doing readings and from my own personal life. Usually you learn the lesson and move on from it. Do you remember what card you pulled, I speak? Was it like an oracle deck or... Sarah, I am shuffling for you right now. Ray, hey girl, you were supposed to be after Emily, but I didn't see your donation come in yet. Was it supposed to be on PayPal again? The last donation I got from you was 5:54 p.m. And you said you were going to donate again at 6:35, so I was waiting for something new to come through. Maybe I just need to close out my app and open it back up again. Let's see. Are you sure, Ray, that your donation went through on your end? Yeah, I haven't gotten anything so far. I can check back again in a second. Alright, how will be Taurus treat Sarah when they do solidify things as a couple in the future? How will be Taurus treat her when they solidify things as a couple in the future? So, Sarah, I do feel like he'll come into the connection feeling like he has learned a lot from your relationship and also your time apart. The first card here is the Hermit, so that makes me feel like he's done some soul searching prior to the reconnection, or he will have done some soul searching, some real growth and personal development prior to coming in. The foundation of who he is still the same. So he will still be a very like thought oriented person over a feeling oriented person. But I do feel like he comes into this feeling more enlightened, like he has done some work that you feel he needed to do. Let's see, he'll be more inclined to be receptive to how you feel. We have that even though he's a more thought oriented person at heart, he'll be more open to the idea of understanding feelings and intuition. And I think he'll be more acknowledging of those things. I think for a long time he's put a lot of emphasis on facts and the things that he observes. And I think he's going to come into this connection understanding that you can put more weight and more value on emotions, and then that's perfectly okay. It's kind of like, you know how people view like science versus faith, science versus spirituality. There's some people that are very like science oriented, I need to see the facts, and then some people are very faith based where it's like I don't need to see the facts, I just believe. I feel like that's kind of how he is. It's like he's always been very thought oriented, very facts based, but he does understand that there is power meeting in the middle, meeting somewhere in that gray area that we can follow our intuition and we can follow our feelings. He's sciencey, exactly. That's also valid, to follow our intuition and our feelings as well. And I feel like honestly, the powerhouse is where you meet in the middle, where you take science and evidence and facts and pair it with intuition and what you feel and what you like just sense. I feel like that's where the power is. He's a moon in Aquarius, no moon in Taurus. Oh, okay. So you've got kind of a similar mind a little bit too, probably, but maybe because you're more tapped into your feminine side, you are more naturally inclined to be more okay with listening to intuition and things of that nature. But yeah, he'll come into it feeling like intuition and feelings are valid. I feel like he's going to try to be more expressive in his feelings versus holding them back. We have the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Swords talks about how I have to sneak away and I have to hide my feelings and I can't be vulnerable and I can't share how I feel, and like maybe he views it as a weakness, possibly. Well, he'll come into the connection being okay with telling you what it is he's thinking. Maybe he won't be as locked up as possible. Maybe that was an issue for you guys, is that he keeps a lot of things to himself, bottled up, and you don't really know where his head is at. Maybe he'll be better at letting you know what he's thinking. And it won't have to be this thing where you feel you're constantly pulling things out of him to tell you what's going on in his head. Maybe he'll be more open to just telling you. He'll still feel coming into the connection that he has a lot to conquer. I still feel like, because he's coming into the connection as a Page of Pentacles, meaning that he still has all these dreams, ambitions, goals that he wants to reach. He still feels that way. So that is something that you would need to know, is that he doesn't have like a timeline. Like, he knows that there are certain things he wants to do now and when he wants to achieve those things, but I feel like he still will always have an ambitious mindset, and he won't be able to just rest once he's hit that goal or hit that challenge. I think he's going to be open to marriage. I don't know if this is a conversation that you guys have had in the past. Maybe he hasn't been open to it, or maybe it's been just too soon to talk about something like that, but he would be open to that level of commitment with you. Ray, I just got your donation a couple minutes ago, and I have, in case my phone dies, will there be any changes in my monthly cash? All right, so Ray, I have your question as well. Sorry guys, it just totally disappeared. So Ray, let's see, anything else that she needs to know? How will he treat her? Ooh, so we have the Empress, so it's like treating you like a queen. So I do like that even though he still has things to conquer and he has ambitions still, and the Queen of Pentacles is popping out again, that you're the priority. And I think that's important for you to hear, is that when he comes back around to this connection and you guys solidify and ground things, that you are the priority. So yeah. You better treat him like a queen. Well, we have the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, so I don't know how he can treat you any better than that. He's still a hard worker. He's a provider. But I think where the shift happens is that he stops making his ambitions the priority, and he makes you the priority first and foremost. And I think that is important for you to know. You're welcome, Sarah. Okay. So next up we have Emily. Emily, if you're ready, you can post your question, unless you posted it on Cash App. Let's see. Yeah, so Emily, you can post your question now. You're welcome, Sarah. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for stopping in. All right. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna do a soft last call right now. I have 2 more spots open, either for minis, 10 cards, etc. And then I'll do an official last call just before Ray's reading. Vetus, oh my gosh, hello Vetus, how are you? I'm sorry I missed it. I was over here in the middle of a reading. I'm sorry, Vetus, how are you doing today? You're welcome, Emily. All right, Emily's been seeing angel numbers lately and other synchronicities. What messages does Spirit have for Emily? Oh, I wish you were doing better than okay, but I'll take it. The first thing that's jumping out at me, Emily, which is cracking me up, is I just saw sexual adventures, and you're probably thinking, what? With who? You know? So it made me laugh. But I think maybe that doesn't apply to you. I don't know why that just jumped out at me. But I feel like for you, it's important that you, I don't know, because the Knight of Wands is like enthusiasm, passion, excitement, energetic. You know, I think it's important that you, because we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like it's important that you surround yourself with really positive, passionate, energetic people. So, okay, I'm going to take the long way around, Emily, so I hope this makes sense. But the other day I was watching this girl on TikTok, I think it was, and she was like, you have to have insurance policies set in place for your mind. You have insurance policies for your health, for your car, for your eyes, for your, for everything. But you need to have insurance policies for your health, for your mental health. And what she meant by that was, who do you have around you that when your mental health is shit or something bad happens to you, who is your insurance policy? Who do you keep in your circle? Who do you keep around you? Think about all of the people that the 5 people you spend the most time with in your life, and what is it that they have to offer to you? Are they Debbie Downers? Are they pessimistic? Are they do they think negatively? Are they always complaining? Are they full of drama? Do you have people that are constantly trying to bring you down in that place? Because here's the thing, when something happens, like for example, you go through a breakup, you're not in the best mental space, and the only person that's there to bring you out of it, the people around you are like, oh, fuck them, you don't need them, da 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 da, it's fine, just be lonely with us, just hang out with us, and and then they're just wanting to like talk trash and gossip, and that's not really a good insurance policy to have for your mental space. You want someone who's uplifting you and is saying like, not fuck them, but like, you really don't need them, you're great on your own, there's better people out there, and speak more positivity over you, and maybe say, hey, instead of like lounging around on the couch, maybe let's go out and do something fun. You have just like people in your corner that when you're not in the best mental space, you have people around you that are either going to bring you up or bring you down. So you have to think about who it is that you have in your circle. Who do you have around you? And when they're in crisis, how do they react? Are they gracious about it? Or do they just complain all the time? Because you are who you surround yourself with. That is a cliche, but it is absolutely true. And so kind of a message here is maybe just to indicate to you you're on the right path. When you see these angel numbers, who are you with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Maybe you're getting confirmation that that is a person you're supposed to be with, or maybe that's someone you should rethink. You made a comment earlier, I think it was you, about energy vampires. So I think maybe it's just kind of spirit telling you when you get synchronicities, you're on the right path. This is good. This is good people to have around, or you're in the right place at the right time. You made the right choice. Or when you get angel numbers, think about it. If you see 5:55 on the clock and you're with a friend who you're maybe like not so certain about, fives typically indicate struggle or chaos or things uneven or out of order. Maybe that's a message for you about who is in your company, or maybe what you're thinking may not be the best, most positive place for you to be. The angel numbers themselves really also, you have to take that into consideration. And I love angel numbers, but I always try to see intuitively what I think the message is that I'm getting. So think about if you're by yourself and you see 444 and you were just thinking about, maybe I should clean out my closet. Maybe I should make some room in there. And you see 444 on the clock. Pay attention to that thought that you just had, because that may be confirmation for you from spirit of what they were trying to say. Yes, go do that thing. That's confirmation. Go do that thing. That's important. So it just depends on like what numbers you're seeing and what thoughts you just had, or what people you're surrounding yourself with. I'm getting a strong message about the people you surround yourself with. But synchronicities are a big thing that I feel like it means you're jumping into the next timeline. I feel like there's multiple timelines available to us. And when we get a lot of synchronicities like that, it's almost like the timelines are so close that you're like jumping into the next one because the synchronicities are happening. And when I tell you it happens to me so often, it's like it almost overlaps. Like at this point, my synchronicities are now about 10 or 11 hours apart when they happen. And so I know that when they start happening like back to back, like minutes apart, I know that I have just moved into the next phase. So just keep that in mind. Synchronicities, I think, are a little bit different than angel numbers, but I think that they both can kind of give you answers or information that you're looking for. You said ladybugs keep landing on you. Shoot, I'm getting a call, but I'll listen to the rest after. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Emily. You're very welcome. That's actually where I was going to end it, so that works out. I hope you have a lovely rest of your night. Okay, so let's see. We have a last call for readings. List is about to close. Anybody that would like to make a donation, go ahead and do that now. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. And Ray, if you're in here, hopefully your phone didn't die yet, but if you're in here, please let me know. Yay. Okay, Ray is here. Let me shuffle for Ray. So we are working on, as far as I know, the last reading that I have for this live stream. We're working on Ray right now, shuffling for her. So this is the last call for anyone that's in here. If you've already gotten a reading from me and would like to add on to what you got, or if you just now saw that I'm live and want to place an order, make sure you guys get those in ASAP, because as soon as I'm done with Ray, as long as nothing else comes in, I will be heading out. All right, will there be any changes in the twin flame connection? For those of you who are heading out for the night, if you can, make sure that you like the live stream on your way out. I would really appreciate it. Will there be any changes in the twin flame connection between Ray and her twin flame? Will there be any, we'll say any foreseeable changes. Will there be any foreseeable changes? So Ray, I am getting a no at this time. I asked yes or no and got a no, and then I asked like if they could give me a time, like if something were to happen, like what kind of time frame are we looking at? And I got the judgment card, which says no timing, or that what's happening is permanent. So as of right now, for the foreseeable future, I am leaning towards a no. But because you got a 9-card reading, would you like me to do a 9-card spread for you guys, or did you have any extra questions that I can pull these cards on? What would you like me to do? I could even ask, like, is there anything that you guys can do to change the outcome, or any advice that they might have to offer? You know, we could kind of just continue on this question and build on it if you want to do that. Okay, so which one? Bodhi, get down. You're not supposed to be up there. Get your little booty on down. I do have, well, that's probably not going to be helpful. Do you want me to build onto the reading, like kind of ask like what advice to kind of change the outcome and see if maybe there's anything that can be changed here, or what you guys can do individually to help open up these blocks maybe, or maybe we could see where the blocks are, or if you kind of like where I'm going with this, then just type the first option was just do a 9-card reading, but I realized that if we do the 9-card reading, it's probably going to be answering a lot of similar questions that we already answered in your other one. So the 9-card reading is a series of 9-card spread that answers how they feel about you, their true intentions, what you want, what they want, your strengths and weaknesses, the energy. Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's add on. But Ray, if you think of any questions, I can pull it for you. So just let me know if you think of something just type it in the chat. But we'll keep going on this. So let's just see what blocks are there between Ray and her twin flame. What blocks do we have here? So it would seem that either you or your twin flame, both or individually, are experiencing a lot of heaviness when it comes to this connection. So it can indicate that you both are very much thinking a lot about this connection. There could be fear, anxiety, maybe even like dreams, nightmares, and just a lot of heaviness. There could be overwhelm or guilt associated with these feelings as well, and it's very possible that there may be I don't know, it feels like it's very heavy. What blocks are there here between them? What blocks are there here between them? So the world is here, which indicates like an ending or an end, like, I don't know, it's like an end of a cycle or something along those lines. The world, again, the whole travel or like being at a distance is coming up again. So if that resonates for you, take that as an acknowledgement. But the world is kind of making me feel like we're kind of tapping back into that energy of you are living your life, he is living his life, you guys are on a different path right now. So maybe, oh, okay, that makes sense. So what they're showing me is that you guys have a purpose together, meaning that you are here to trigger one another into understanding why you're here on this earth. And a lot of time is spent focused on one another rather than your individual missions. So kind of think of it like you're here to live your life a certain way, he's here to live his life a certain way, and it's almost like if you guys can achieve those things individually, then you guys might have a chance later on. It's kind of what they're showing me with the 10 of Cups, because the 10 of Cups has to do with alignment. Let's see, what kind of dreams is he having? Oh, good dreams. We have the Ace of Cups. So maybe times where you guys are communicating, maybe being affectionate with one another, being loving to one another, being open and honest. Maybe he's telling you about his life and, you're telling him about yours. Sometimes the dreams could be like a meetup where you guys talk in like the astral realm, or like on a psychic level where you like telepathic, you know what I mean, where you guys come together. It's like a meeting place. So it's very possible it's not just dreams, it's actually real. But unfortunately, because you're not in communication, you can't confirm with one another like, hey, did you have this dream last night? But it's very possible that you guys are meeting one another in your sleep as well. Let's see, any advice? What advice do we have for Ray? So they're showing happiness, promise, faith, healing, rejuvenation. So they're kind of showing that it's important, Ray, that you got some growth that needs to happen here. Let's see, where does her growth need to happen? In what chakra? We have the solar plexus. So you got some growing to do. Ray, you haven't quite figured out your life purpose here on this earth. Usually life purposes aren't what we're here to tell you as readers or mediums or psychics. It's something you have to discover on your own, but we can guide you in that direction. And Spirit is showing that you have to find your purpose here in this world. It can be as simple as becoming a mom, but a lot of times our life purpose is outside of lives that we build with other people. It's more like the lives that they're the life that we lead individually. So there is a life purpose. There's something that you're here to do. There's a calling that you have. There's a reason for being, something that makes you feel like you're on the right path, and just with such certainty that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it doesn't always correlate with your career. It can, but it doesn't always mean that. And so there's a lot of passion and inspiration that you have so much untapped potential. And so they're kind of showing me that the advice here is we need to lean into that. You need to figure out what it is that lights you up, that makes you feel like you have purpose every single day. And again, life purposes can change throughout the years, but there's this inspiration or this muse. There's this like something very magic about you that's not tapped into right now, and we need to expand on that and navigate that further. I feel like Spirit is saying that this is the advice, because this could be the thing that leads you possibly to your twin flame, having actual connection and grounded relationship with this person. That's kind of what I was trying to tap into a little earlier before you asked the question about the dream, that you guys have individual purposes in life that you have to follow, you have to figure out, you have to go through. And this can mean him having a bunch of different relationships and you having a bunch of different relationships outside of one another, that can kind of snowball or domino effect, if you will, to maybe your life purpose. And then once you guys figure out your life purpose, sometimes you're meant to, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, like something, okay, maybe you're meant to bring a child into the world with a specific person that's not your twin flame, but then you guys separate and then your twin flame comes back into your life later on. I'm just thinking of different scenarios, but basically Spirit is showing that there's a specific way that your life is supposed to go, and you have the choice of how quickly you get there. But there are certain markers on your timeline, which I think they call it, oh my God, hun, what's that thing that we learned the other day? What's that word that we learned where they were like, it's a something event? And we were like, oh, a canon event. They're calling it canon events. It's from like a comic book. But basically, canon events, there's certain ones on your timeline where you can't really avoid. It's like something that has to happen. And you kind of have to walk that path and just hope that you and your twin flame come back together at some point once you've lived your life and you've had these other experiences. It's hard because sometimes when we meet our twin flame, we like feel like we're meant to be together and we're inseparable, and like, you want that. But a lot of people will tell you twin flame connections are hard because they constantly come with obstacles. And the reason why is because it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy with a twin flame. Your twin flame is here to unearth your drama, your karma, or your trauma, your karma, try to trigger you into realizing what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes people don't even like, they'll go through periods where they don't even like their twin flame. They don't like what they stand for. But that's supposed to trigger you as well, because you're supposed to realize, like, that's actually in me. That's why it triggers me, is because I am that person. I am that reflection. We get very hung up on, hey, James, yeah, you can be my last donation of the night. We get very hung up on, like, when we're going to be together. But yeah, that's what I've got, Ray, for you. So my main advice, now that we've kind of like gone over a lot of in-depth conversation, is that it's really important for you to focus on your own mission, your own life purpose, what inspires you, what makes you happy, what lights you up, because then and only then can you get to the point where you can ground your relationship with your twin flame. It's almost like lessons you have to learn and things that you have to do before you get there, because you guys are on your own very separate path right now, is what I'm seeing. And in order for your paths to cross or merge, you have to go through these other things first. And so the advice is that start focusing on maybe some things that you can do that will make you feel like you're aligning with your life purpose. So yeah, that is what I've got for you, Ray. Thank you so much. So James, yes, you can donate. You will be, oh, it looks like I just got your donation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the screen that all lists are closed. And James will be my last reading of the night. I might be back later on tonight. I don't know for sure. I hate saying that because then sometimes things get away from me. All right, Jamesy. Good, Ray. That's perfect. If you feel like you're doing it already, or you feel like you're working on that, that's good, because that is what you need to be doing. So keep at it. And just keep in mind too, like I said earlier, that your life path can be different things for different periods of your life. You can have multiple life purposes, not just the one, you know. All right, James, go ahead and post your questions. First question, is it in our best interest for Patty and I to be in a relationship together? All right, is it in their best interest for James and Patty to be in a relationship together? Please show me a yes or a no for James. Is it in their best interest for James and Patty to be in a relationship together? Yes or no? Yes or no? So I'm getting most likely. I am getting most likely yes. The reason I'm not saying yes full out is because two cards came out at once. One is a maybe, one is a yes. The maybe, of course, is the Wheel of Fortune, which indicates divine timing. So maybe what Spirit's trying to say is right now it's not maybe in the best interest, but eventually it would be. Eventually it would be in your best interest when, you know, they feel that it's right. I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, I'm also getting that this is kind of like a gift that they're your spiritual team, you know, the divine God is giving to you with Patty. This is like a gift from the universe essentially. So it's kind of like when you're being given a gift, you don't want to be rude, you don't want to be greedy, you know, you don't want to be like or expecting this gift. That's kind of how they're presenting it to me. Is it's like a present. It's like poor etiquette to be like, can I have my gift now? You know, so it's like they're kind of showing to me, they're like, this is something that we're giving to you. This is something that is for you and you will get it. It's just right now maybe not the best thing. But as far as like, is it in your best interest? Like eventually, inevitably, yes, I do feel like this is an inevitable connection. Let's see. Anything else for James when it comes to this? Is it in their best interest to be in a relationship together? God, I hate to tell you this, but I literally have patience. I literally have the patience card here. Eight of Pentacles, that word is just right across the page. So, or right across the card. God, I hate that. I hate being that person that's like, you gotta wait. But that's kind of what they're showing me. But I do have the 10 of Wands, and the 10s indicate like things coming or like cycles ending. So maybe we're near the finish line, possibly, hopefully. So yeah, I am gonna go with a yes. My intuition is telling me yes, it is in your best interest, but I feel like Spirit didn't know how to answer that because it's in your best interest eventually. All right, so let's see. The second question will be, are Patty and I twin flames? Let's see if we get a yes or a no for James. Spirit, can you please advise, are Patty and James twin flames? Are Patty and James twin flames? Please show me a yes or a no. I'm gonna go with a very high level soul connection. I'm not getting a yes outright for twin flames, but this is a very highly it's almost like ancient, if that makes sense. It's almost like ancient connection is kind of how it's coming through. So I think that could fall under the terms twin flame, but I am getting a no. So I feel like Spirit's trying to lead me away from that twin flame terminology. But this feels like something that's been a long time coming as far as the two of you. This is like a deep, high level connection. So it almost feels like I'm curious to know if there's something outside of twin flame soulmate karmic, because it almost feels like this is somewhere in between like soulmate twin flame kind of thing. It feels like it's something else. This could be just a deep bond that you guys have where you signed a lot of contracts to be in one another's lives. If you believe in past lives, this could be like a multiple life reincarnation where you guys have a lot of past lives together, maybe even lived on different planets together at one point. Maybe been a part of each other's like spirit family for a long time, or been guides for one another. Whenever you guys decide to incarnate, maybe one hangs back and is a spirit guide. Like, it almost feels like this is like best friends and lovers. And it just feels like there's like a history, like an energy signature history here. Almost if you were to open the browser, like, and look at the history, you guys go way back. So I don't know if I would be able to confirm twin flame. I always tell people that it's important that they decide that themselves. But maybe this will give you more confidence, because if you are feeling twin flame, maybe what I'm saying will lean you in one way or the other. It's very hard to get someone else to tell you if that's the case. But just keep in mind, twin flames are incredibly rare. Sometimes your twin flame doesn't even incarnate on the earth at the same time as you. It's one ever, one ever. And so sometimes people will be like, oh, I just feel really strongly about this person, and they're like, they're my twin flame. And I'm like, no, you're not using that correctly. Like, twin flame is more like a knowing. It's almost like you don't even need to ask the question to get that confirmation. It's like you just know. In the second, I wish people didn't know the term twin flame, because I wish that they just knew that they had this feeling or this knowing, and then when they heard the term twin flame, they're like, oh my god, that's a word to what I'm feeling, not I'm feeling to a word. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully, James, that helps you. I'm not getting like an outright yes. I did get a no for twin flame, but at the same time, I feel like you need to trust what you're feeling. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with a soulmate either. There's like, we got to stop putting such emphasis on this twin flame thing, because sometimes soulmates are better for us. But twin flames do come with their own set of challenges, which may be unique to your situation. You might feel like that resonates more for you. Sometimes soulmates are easier, and maybe if you feel like you're going through a difficult situation, that maybe this person is your twin flame. So you'd have to let me know what you're thinking in regards to that.